Before we begin, I want to take a moment to honor the lands we are on. Des Moines Elementary sits on traditional lands of coastal Salish people, including the Duwamish and Muckleshoot tribes. We show respect to their ancestors and their rich culture that have been here long before us and continue to thrive today. CO. Hello, everyone. Dagwa Doahi. My name is Melissa Watkins, and I'm honored to be here today to talk about supporting our MLs. Students whose voices are so often misunderstood or overlooked. This presentation is called Empowering Every Voice because as someone who is learning Cherokee language and exploring my own cultural identity, I know how powerful it is to be seen, heard, respected. Wadu. Thank you for joining me. Let's begin with a quick reflection. Can I have everyone please close their eyes? Imagine being in a classroom where everyone speaks a language you don't fully understand yet. Untnatlahi, untnatlahi, untnatlahi. Don't you understand me? What did I say? Okay, you can open your eyes now. That's the reality of many of our multi-language learners. In our district, they are not a small population. There are students, there are responsibility, and our community. I often think of the value of untnatlahi, which means mutual respect. When we support our MLs, we show them respect for who they are and where they come from. Multi-language learners or ML students are learning English and while they're growing with the academic content and often continue to speak another language at home. Some cultural challenges that they face are learning academic vocabulary in English, adjusting to a new cultural or school system, and sometimes trauma from displacement or migration. But they also bring strengths that we need to recognize, like cultural knowledge, family resilience, and multilingual capacity. In Cherokee cultures, storytelling is sacred, and in many of our MLs carry that power of oral tradition, just like my ancestors. Let's talk about strategies that support our MLs. Scaffolds, providing sentence stems, visual aids, and word banks. They're all great things to use. GLAD strategies, I've used the pictorial input charts, which I really like, and the chants, like Cherokee number chant that I shared with my students during Native American Heritage Month. Modeling, using think alouds to make my thinking transparent. Partner work, give one, take one. This is a great strategy because it helps build conversation and confidence at the same time. Total physical response. That is one of my favorites. TPR. This strategy is especially powerful for younger learners or beginning language levels. Pairing vocabulary with physical actions, making it meaning stick. Now I want you to just, everybody stand up, take a break. I'm gonna have you do a quick TPR action with me, but I'm gonna teach you vocabulary in Cherokee. I'm going to give you 3 animals that I have learned recently. Now I want you to stretch your arms out wide and then come in and act like you're hugging a pillow. Now I want you to say Yona and shake your hands up and down. Yona, Yona. Yona means bear. Bear is a sign of strength. A lot of the times the bear protects the forest. Now I want you to hold your hands up above your head, pointing with your palms out. Hold your hands straight up high and say Weya, Weya. Weya means wolf. The wolf, a lot of the times, is the teacher of survival in Cherokee stories. Now I want you to cup your hands together and say Seloli, Seloli, Seloli. Seloli is squirrel. Squirrel is great at planning ahead and being resourceful and prepared. Academic success and language learning go hand in hand. Every lesson can have both content and language objectives. For example, if you look over here, the content describes how salmon return to their own spawning grounds. Look at this picture closely though. Do you think this is an appropriate visual aid? Do you see the salmon returning to the spawning ground? It's really important that you make sure you have an adequate visual aid supporting what you're trying to give them in the content. Language using transitional words like first, next, finally. And here are a few examples. I have this chart hanging up in my classroom. It's a really great idea to have that. I like to actually give a copy to each of my students, and it's a great support for MLs. Language is deeply tied to identity. When we affirm students' cultures, we give them roots and wings. That might mean including cultural relevant stories or avoiding assumptions about behaviors or family involvement. Celebrating their heritage, whether it's Samoan, Spanish, Ukraine, or Cherokee. During a lesson on symbolism, I shared with my class the Cherokee symbol for mea, which is, mea is water. And as you can see here, this is the water sign symbol right here that I shared with them, which represents both cleansing and knowledge. We each drew our symbols from our cultures, and that was more meaningful to us. This represented something that was so powerful in the classroom that it really moved me what my students came up with. Here are some resources I highly recommend. WIDA is a great resource to identify MLs and what they can do at the level that they're at. And then Washington State resources, lesson plans, they have parent engagement strategies. They also have research-based tools to align the state multilingual learner policies and frameworks. Tech tools I highly recommend would be Talking Points or Google Translate. Seesaw with language supports is a really good one. And a few books I recommend would be Unlocking English Language Learners' Potential by Ferner and Snyder. And then Cultural Responsive Teaching by Zeta and Hammond. But honestly, the best resource of all is collaboration with SPED, ELL specialists, and the families. Together, we can co-develop a lesson that not only is just a basic lesson, but it honors our students and their story. I'll leave you with this. We are all language teachers. We are all bridge builders. And we are all responsible for the success of our multi-language learners. As a Cherokee educator, my people and I believe that a good path is building together in harmony. Let's walk that path to make sure our multi-language learners have everything that they need to succeed. Wadu, thank you for listening, and thank you for the work you do every day. Do you have any questions? Next slide.